Hello, welcome back to the Bacon Lodge. I'm Josh, and today we have an outdoor project. It's early spring here, and you can see in the background we have some very large beds at our house here, and we usually top them off with fresh red mulch so it looks nice and pretty and all that great stuff. Problem is that to do all the beds in my property, I have to do about 30 yards of mulch just to top it. That's not to build up a base. That's basically just putting about a ½ inch of mulch over top of all of these beds. So about 2 years ago, I bought this red mulch colorant. The reason why I haven't tried it yet is because I wanted to get it down before the plants start coming up. You can see that there's not a whole lot of plant moving out there. You can see the bushes that are green all year round. But we have a lot of hostas and perennial type stuff that comes up pretty early, and I wanted to get it down before the stuff comes up because my thought was you don't want to have the tops of all those plants dyed red because that would kind of look funny. So this year I actually got up on my butt because of this YouTube channel, and I'm going to try to get it done. So what you got to do is you take that colorant, and I'll show you how to do it from what I read in the directions, and you have to mix it together with water in a pump sprayer. Welcome to Bacon's Lodge, where I will build many things, fix even more, and try to make it an adventure along the way. You take the colorant. Now I've not done this, so you guys are going to kind of be learning with me here. I'm trying to make it so you can see it. So we got the colorant there. So we take this colorant, and we have to put it in a pump sprayer. You don't need one of the fancier ones like this. You can just use a small 1 gallon hand pump. I just have this one, and I don't have any other small ones in the house. This one I usually use for ground clear. So with it being 4 gallons, at 4 ounces per gallon, it says 2 to 5 on here, so I'm going to go 4. On 4 ounces per gallon, I'm going to need half of this container, because it's a 1 quart, which is 32 ounces, and 4 ounces times 4 gallons is 16 ounces, which is half of a quart. So that would be, I'm gonna shake it up real good and mix about half of it into the container. Like I said, I have not done this. It does say to wear gloves, so I'm gonna try to find a pair of gloves. I know I don't have any like latex gloves, but I think I got something that'll work, just so you don't get your hands destroyed, because it'll dye you. So I have the cap off, and I'm gonna pour about half of it in there. I'm not gonna measure it out too precise, but a little bit more. Okay, we're going to say that's half. I'll put the lid on. I see why they want the gloves, because I already got some on my fingers, and you can see it's all over the cap. So I'm just going to shake it up real good. This is where it would be nice to have the smaller one, because you wouldn't have to lug around 4 gallons. Okie dokie. So you can see I got my backpack on now. Like I said, I've not done that before. I'm not going to be doing it right here by the front door, just in case it looks like garbage. So we're going to go over here in the corner. Whereas if it is garbage, I'll just cover it up with new mulch. Hoping it's not, and I probably should get the leaf blower out too. So, but the area I want to work on is up top, and there's not too many leaves up there right now. What I'm going to kind of do is I'll bump it up and kind of show you how it works. Put a test spot here. It looks exactly like it does kind of, oh, I'm colorblind, but it looks like the mulch looks when I first get it. It says to try to hit it from a couple different angles, so I'm going to kind of spray it from a couple angles here. I'm just going over it. And what I'm going to try to do is not walk on it until it dries. So when I do up there, I'm going to start from here and walk backwards up the hill. Today's a little bit of a windier day than I probably should be doing this, because this could get all over me and stuff I don't really want it to, but this is basically the last day I think I'm going to have to be able to do it before all the plants start coming up, because they're already kind of starting to poke up a little bit. So what we're going to do is I think I'm going to set you up on a time lapse, and I'll kind of show you how I do it, because okay, so I sprayed the first 4 gallons in that time lapse. I'm going to show you what it looks like. You need at least 2 coats. It does look a little bit better, like, I think it'll save you, from having to get a new one, but it's not, actually from here it doesn't look as bad. It's not quite as vibrant as I thought it would be, but again, you're just spraying dye on top of mulch that's been sitting there for a while. I wouldn't do it on a sunny day. This is a nice overcast day, because this way it can actually penetrate into the wood a little bit, but I'll kind of show you what I got here. So, mulch that hasn't been touched yet. This is where I sprayed the 1 coat when I was showing you guys just the test area. And then that's 2 coats up there. You can see the difference. I would definitely do it on an overcast day like today, so that way it has time to saturate in before it just evaporates off. But other than that, I'm going to go through and do the rest of it, at least 2 coats. I just did my second bottle, and when I mixed it up, the pigment of that in there had settled to the bottom of the container. So like that first batch I did was mostly just whatever liquid was in there. I'd shaken it up as good as I thought I could, like I thought it was mixed, but it was just like all clumpy in the bottom. So I mixed it up again with a little bit of water, and then I sprayed it up there as you saw in the time lapse. I'm going to turn around now because you can see where I've done 2 coats very distinctly, and it looks a lot better with pigment shaken up in 2 coats. It doesn't look as bad. It doesn't look horrible without a second coat, but it looks a lot darker with a second coat. And I'm going to kind of walk up there and kind of show you the difference of what it looks like. This section here is 1 coat, the properly mixed stuff, and then you can see that dark line there. That's where it's 2 coats. It's still got to dry a little bit, so we're going to walk up the top there. And I'm going to show you, kind of see where it's lighter up there. I just want to show you the line of where we have sprayed and haven't sprayed it, so that way you can kind of make your own decision on if you like this or not. A little bit about this mulch and where it's set. So this is a south facing hill. Cameras don't really let it show. So you can see that there's a retaining wall. There's one on the bottom. The second one's about 4 feet tall. And then the ridge up is about another 5 feet. So it's a very steep bed until you get to the top part. So it gets a lot of sun. Mulch is about 2 years old. It's a hardwood mulch and we're in southeastern Wisconsin. So we get winters, and you can see here, this is the 2 coats. There's a line there, then that's the 1 coat. But I wanted to kind of walk up here and show you up close where you can see where my line is, where I stopped. I'm going to do the second half, but I wanted to show it to you first, and then I got to mix another batch anyhow. So here is the end of the 2 coats. There's the single coat. Even at the single coat, it looks better than it did because you can see the contrast there. It's just not as bright. So to me, that kind of looks like what it looked like after about 4 or 5 months of being in the sun. The only thing about this spraying technique is if we spray it, I think you wouldn't want to do any type of planting afterwards, because anytime you move this mulch now, it's not going to be colored underneath. Whereas a new mulch is going to be 100% sprayed. You know, it's going to be saturated when they mix it all together. So, and then up here you can see this was the 2 coats of that first batch I did, which equals out to about 1 coat of the correctly mixed stuff, but it is quite a bit of difference. So as you saw down by my front door there, I have beds by the front door, and then there's the lower level here. I'm probably just going to put new mulch on that because it'll look a little bit fresher. But with this being towards the, not like where people are real close to it, I think this will work really well. In the back, I have some beds that are pretty far in the back, so I think I'm just going to spray those. Whereas any of the new stuff, we can just blow off the leaves and freshen it up a little bit with new stuff. This overall so far, this is going to work pretty good. For right now, I'm just going to go and finish spraying it out. I'll let you know when it's all done. Hopefully you guys like this little introduction to this. We're going to be doing a lot more outdoor stuff now because the weather's decent. I just finished using up all of 1 jug. It actually covered up a lot more than I thought it would. I'll kind of pan around here and show it all to you. I was able to get this lower level here. It's kind of hard to see. I'll walk over there. All of the upper level, all the way up top there, all the way back to those arborvitaes. All the way down there, and then from the mailbox, which I don't know if you can see, all the way over to my house. So I'll kind of walk through it all and kind of show you what it looks like. You can see here, I mean, it looks pretty good. There's not a whole lot of mulch here. So what I was going to do is I was actually going to go get a couple of bags of the mulch from the big box store, put it down, and then can kind of compare how long this spray lasts compared to what a new bag of mulch would cost. How long a new bag of mulch would last. The cost is incredibly different because to do the amount of mulch that I would need this year would probably be around $1,200. Now over by the mailbox and here is just 1 coat, like 1 spraying application. It's starting to get a little windy out here, so I didn't want to do too much more. But I think if I needed to, I could do a second one. This, you can kind of see the plants starting to come in. So this gets really full of plants, so you don't need to have it be quite as vibrant as up here. Like right here, it's kind of more sparse in plants, so you see a lot more of the mulch. So I wanted that to look real nice and dark. Then up here you can see, you know, this is where it's kind of hard to tell, but that is a really steep face there that faces towards almost straight south. So it gets beat on quite a bit. And there's some hostas and stuff in there, but most of the mulch is still exposed. And then over here it turns into more hostas. I have a lot of hostas out here because they're so drought resistant and stable. This hill is mostly just garbage, rock, and sand. So I think that'll be about it for this video. I will probably make a review of it, like I said, after a few weeks, after some rains, and then after a few months when it gets more set up, to see if it lasts as long. And I'm going to get that bag of mulch to lay down next to it that's the same type of red that is a brand new bag, and see just how they last next to each other. Hopefully you did like it. Hopefully this helps you. Maybe saves you some money over having to buy more mulch. It also is a lot less physical than doing a whole new mulch down, because it takes a lot of work and a lot of if you don't have the right machinery or something, it's just a lot of wheelbarrows or garbage bags or whatever you're going to do. So once again, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. May God bless you and have a great day.